investment. It's going to be based on creating infrastructure. It's going to be based on creating an economy that works for all. In that respect, over 5 million jobs are on their way through the empowerment of, through employment creation in the education sector. We're investing so much in the education sector that 200,000 teachers are going to be employed immediately as soon as we come into office in 2019. After that, we are also doing 160,000 health workers across the country. The power sector alone, where we would increase from 3,000 megawatts of electricity to about 24,000, powering over 40 million homes, they will create no less than 2 million jobs, as it did in Egypt and Morocco and Tunisia. The agricultural sector, we are creating 1,000 jobs per local government. Those are 774 local governments in Nigeria with 1,000. You can do the maths and you know how many jobs will be created right away. And all these jobs are going to be created both in infrastructure, roads construction, railway construction, will have its own multiplier effect that will create and stabilize the economy of Nigeria and make a lot of people have some source of income that will make their lives stable and that will make them feel belonged to this country. And it's so clear that we are the ones that are able to create jobs. And our position is that if we increase the minimum wage from what it is now, 18,000 or 30,000, depending on who you are listening to 100,000, that will increase the purchasing power of workers and will boost the economy of the country through the small and medium enterprises that are going to draw from that increase and that boost. It is simple economics. It is what needs to be done for Nigeria to have an economic system that provides employment for its teeming youth and stabilize employment for those who are already in employment. Because our problem is not just unemployment. We have a big problem of underemployment. A lot of people, somebody who is a graduate, who is riding around in keke napep, cannot be said to be employed. That is not the kind of employment we are promising you. We are promising you the kind of employment that comes with the benefit of being fully employed in the country. So that will solve our employment problem, and the education sector and the massive investment we will put there will also create employment for a lot of teachers. In the health sector, where we're planning massive improvement and investment, will not only create employment for the people in the medical industry, but they will create employment for medical insurance opportunities, and it will also attract so many of our doctors that have left to come back. And when they do come back, they bring in hard-earned income revenue into the country, in addition to the expertise that will also jumpstart in our economy in a lot of ways. And we will invest in the tech sector. There's no question about that sector needs so much investment that it will create so many opportunities for people. And tech right now is the highest way, is the surest way of earning high income for both individuals and our own country, Nigeria. So that's unemployment. There's a question here about the health sector. That's on the verge of, well, they said decay, but I think collapse is the best word to use because of lack of manpower, adequate facilities, equipment to foster better healthcare. What are your plans to improve this? Again, we have to invest in the health sector, but it's not just a general, statement of investing in it. It has to be strategic investment in, high, tech investment. High tech and investment in the health sector. Also, using other means of bringing health to people that is technological driven. But what we need to start with, and what we will start with, is the universal basic health for everyone, so that every Nigerian, every one of you will have access to health care through a public insurance policy where you can contribute, say, 500 naira to obtain a health card. Everybody will be given a health card. And with that, when you're sick, you can see a doctor. And if you have any problems, you can see a doctor. And for the NHIS that we have now, we just have to bring in people who are honest, people who are knowledgeable, and have the expertise to manage the place so that it's not serving as a slush fund. But the NHS so far has only been helping people who are employed. We most rapidly expand it to include everybody who is in need of health. And everybody, I mean everybody is in need of health care. And health has to be democratic. It has to be, democratized, so that every Nigerian who is in this country today have access to health care. So many of our callers today were calling from different parts of Europe. And you find out that even when they don't have the paperwork to either be permanent residents or citizens, they have health care. They are provided with shelter by the government of those countries. That's why a lot of people are leaving our countries through the Mediterranean Sea, and they don't care whether they die in the course of getting there, because these governments in countries that they are rushing to provide some form of support to them. We even had people who had been calling us from Libya